Thank you, and I'll start with the most interesting question.
Yes.
And the answer is, health is an integral part of the climate conversation. And so we'll have a side event, we'll have the Ministry of Health involved, so we will defer that question to them, but it's an integral part of this conversation, so thank you for raising the question. As far as the 100 billion, the loss and damage, and so on, those are really, really important efforts that we as Africans have been engaging the world on and have negotiated. We have a fantastic group of negotiators, and that must continue. What the summit says, though, is that in addition to all that work, which is fantastic and it must be encouraged, it's hardly enough. Numbers show that we need over $3 trillion a year to meet climate financing from 2030. When you talk about 100 billion or the 0.7% of ODA promise towards climate, it hardly scratches the surface. And so also to answer the question on how this is different, is it's taking all those things, thanking everybody for being engaged, encouraging and actually pushing that that's delivered. But in addition, we must elevate the conversation to address the reality of what climate finance needs really are. And so what's different about Nairobi is very clearly agreeing to all the work that's being done, but pushing really hard and saying, actually, for climate finance, the quantum of money, the scale, the urgency is quite different. And Africa is bringing that to the table and saying, great that we've been having all these discussions, but we need to up our game. The Nairobi Declaration is not contentious. His Excellency has listened to all the leaders on the continent in his capacity as chair of the Committee of Heads of State and Government on Climate Change. He has talked to various participants. You may have seen him at the conference in Paris. So what's coming out of the declaration is a very clear narrative that connects the challenges we are facing on the continent, whether it's debt finance, whether it's poor showing from credit rating agencies, and saying that those things, while important, cannot really meet our needs as a continent. The declaration goes further and says that in the north we have renewable energy. In the Congo Basin, we have the lungs of the world. In the south, we have hydropower and all sorts of minerals. That on the financing instruments, absolutely. So when we talk about the quantum of money needed in the trillions of dollars, it won't all come in one big bucket. It has to be in instruments that are targeted towards different efforts. I would, for example, say that Portugal has signed a debt for nature swap with Comoros, where Portugal does not look to get paid back its debt, but in exchange asks the government to deploy that money towards climate investments. We will see quite a number of those conversations in the main event, and even more on side events. What I've seen is anything to go by. So all to say that at the core of this summit is the financial innovation and the financial instruments required to advance this agenda. Kwa swali la wanafunzi na hii mambo ya mazingira, ningesema na mama yangu alikuwa anafundisha Kiswahili Mangu High School na Thika High School. Kwa hivyo lazima nijaribu kuongea Kiswahili sanifu. Ni muhimu sana tuwape watoto wetu wanafunzi elimu ya mazingira. Na kwa hii summit ni nini kwa Kiswahili? Asante. Kwa hii kongamano tutakuwa na First Ladies Pavilion. Kama mnavyojua, amefanya kazi kubwa ya kuelimisha wanafunzi mambo ya mazingira, na pia atakuwa na competition, mashindano ya kupatia awards kwa yule mwanafunzi ambaye amefanya jukumu kubwa zaidi kulingana na mazingira. Kwa hivyo tunakubali na wewe hiyo mambo yako. And I will stop there. Thank you.